Hello. Just give a few minutes for people to arrive. Lovely. I'm hoping that my Wi-Fi holds up. Yeah. Hello. Oh, it's nice to see people here. Hello. Great. So, yeah, give everyone a couple of minutes to come in. Today I'm just gonna show you a few reflexes on the hands that are gonna help to make you feel nice and calm, nice and grounded. Like, everything is just so weird again. Like, my anxiety's been through the roof lately, so just something to kind of bring us back down, make us feel nice and calm and good. I said on my stories earlier, I'm going to try and keep this relatively short. Usually when I do a workshop it'd be like 45 minutes to an hour, so I'm going to cut it right back because, yeah, my attention span is not there. But yeah, thanks for everyone joining. Hello also to all the people on the Ultimate Goddess Challenge. It's nice to have you coming in here. It's really lovely. So yeah, really short explanation of what reflexology is. It's a holistic acupressure therapy where points in the body are mirrored in the hands and the feet. So by working into the hands and the feet, we can have an impact on the way the body functions and the way that we feel. So it's really great for things like women's health, digestion, but also like stress, anxiety. So really good to like bring you back, calm you down. Yeah, so if you've got a moisturiser or an oil, grab that. If you don't need to have one. You can absolutely do it without. If you do have any questions, like, feel free to ask. It's all good. I'm going to use this Reflexology balm because it's the least messy thing. I won't get oil all over the bed. So, work that into your hands. I'm here with Nico's. Oh, my friend had a baby recently. That's so nice. Oh, anyway, I'll get really gooey about that if I think about it too much. So back to your hands. Feel free to also have like a bit of a stretch. You can shake things out a bit if you're feeling like in your body at all. But just come to your hands. You can work into the wrists. Roll your jumper up so you don't get oil everywhere. And so I'm going to start with my left hand working on the right. So the first reflex we're going to work on is the head, and that is found in this area of your thumb. So I do this kind of little thumb walking method. If you've got long nails, you can literally just get into it like that. So what you might feel if you're using more of this kind of method, you may feel there's some kind of like, yeah, just here, I've got some really crunchy bits. So this is where we call this an imbalance in reflexology, and you want to work it out. So this is kind of the base of my head and my neck, and my neck. Yeah, clicks and cracks in that area because I carry a lot of tension there. You can just work in here. So this is a great one. Headaches, stress, sleep. Sleep's so important. I don't know about anyone else, like my sleep's been quite disturbed since the lockdown got announced. Great, and then we're going to come to the shoulder reflex. So you find this just on this corner underneath your little finger. So also feel free to work like this. I'm just going to work in a way that you can see a bit better. So up and along. You can also just wiggle into this corner here. So this is your shoulder reflex. Then we're going to come down to, like, imagine where, like, underneath your knuckles, this line here. So this is the diaphragm line, so the diaphragm reflex. So your diaphragm's the muscle that sits just underneath your lungs. So again, you can do this little walking method, or you can just pull back and forth. You can just sit like this and do it. The great thing about doing reflexology workshops is any nerves that I have disappear whilst I'm doing it, because I calm down. And then if you want to, you can massage this whole area here. So this is like giving your chest a nice rub. Lovely. Then we're gonna work the spine reflex. So this is one of the longer reflexes on your hand. So it's actually an easier reflex to work on the feet. I'll show you where it is, just because you literally have more space to work on. So on your hands, you have like your neck here, your, oh gosh, your thoracic spine here, and your lumbar spine down here. Whereas on your foot, if you can see my foot, you've got your neck here, and you have this whole area here for your thoracic spine. God, I keep forgetting that. And then you can either come up here or back here, depending on what charts you look at. There's different positionings, so it is a bit of a smaller one to work on the hand, but you still get a good effect. So you can walk all the way down and across the base of your hand, remembering to feel for any of those kind of crunchy popping sensations. So yeah, I've got a few right here. Again, if I tried, I'd definitely make my back click right in the very bottom of it. If you want to, you can also split this up into like really detailed bits. You do actually have an individual reflex for every bone in your spine. So in here, so you're finding that bone and just working along it. 7 steps here if you can. So much crunch, yeah, so much crunch. If you can, along this bit here, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Do we want to crunch the crunch? Yes, so in theory you're trying to crunch the crunches away, but sometimes that can take, like sometimes you'll feel one and it'll be gone. Other times you'll have ones that are there like constantly. So say my hips have always been like cracky and crunchy, like they just always have been, so my hips are always quite tender. They improve with reflexology and working into the hip reflex, but it's not one of those ones that I'm like, oh, feel it, oh, it's gone. So does that make sense? When you say crunch, you mean in the hand? Yeah, so like under the skin it might feel like sand or bubble wrap popping or crunching, so like little kind of, you know when you get a knot in your back and it's like a bit crunchy, it's like a teeny tiny version of that in your hand. If you want, you can walk back up the way with that spine reflex. And then the next reflex I'm going to show you is your solar plexus reflex. So if you're familiar with like yoga and chakras, this is like your emotional center. So I feel like this is a really important one for us to work on at the moment. It's also a really nice one to work anytime because it's super discreet and you can just do it anywhere. It makes me feel a lot calmer quite quickly. So to find that, imagine that kind of diaphragm line again, and if you kind of push and like if your hand were to collapse, does that make sense? It's like right in the center of your hand, and you just make big circles here. Now this one you may not feel like any crunching or anything like that, it's just kind of more of an area to work on. Can you save this so we can do that? I'm going to show you the other hand, don't worry. And yeah, I'm hoping I could save this to an Instagram live, but I am horribly inept. Is that the right word? I don't know. I'm bad with technology, so fingers crossed. But yeah, just making nice big circles into the centre of the palm of your hand. We'll come back to this at the end and I'll show you a little breathing exercise you can do with it. So now I'm going to show you on the other hand. So it's just going to be the same reflexes, but just to make sure we're nice and balanced in both sides of the body. So using your right hand to work with your left, yes. You're coming over this whole area of the thumb. If you want, you can do this little walking method. yeah, it's surprising how like relaxing and how quickly it can make a difference. Like, it shouldn't surprise me anymore, but it still does. And again, if you want any of these reflexes, like when you're just doing this practice on yourself, you just want to do it in a way like that feels good. Don't worry too much about the technique you're using. Then what did we do next? We did the shoulder, yes. So that was just on the edge here, so the same way it kind of looks like a shoulder. So you can do this little walk. And remember, you can all, like, when you're doing it yourself, you can just work in a way that's comfortable for you. Just making sure you can see. Just into this little bit here. There's another way you can get into the shoulder reflex. It's a slightly different positioning. So yeah, with different charts or maps, depending on what you want to call them, but they also have different positionings. So you flip your hand over, take a few steps down, so like 3 steps down. It's in between the bones. You can rock in between. Oh my god, my shoulders were killing me the other day. I couldn't believe it. I woke up, I was like, so yeah, it's a good one to work into if you've been doing the challenges. So yeah, this might feel a bit weird to get into if you're not used to working between the bones, but it is another way to work into the shoulder reflex. And we're going to find that diaphragm line again. So it's just underneath where your knuckles would sort of flop over, so along here. Just doing this little step. You can just literally rub back and forth on that. And you can also just massage the whole of your knuckles. So this is like your chest area. I find it really soothing when I like rub my chest. I'm not going to rub my chest with this jumper because I'll get oil all over it. But yeah, it's the same kind of principle, if you like. See, I told you my attention span was bad. There's only 5 reflexes and I can't remember any of them. Then we're going to do the spine. So this is that one that came all the way down here. So find that little bone here. You can work down here. So if you're feeling fancy, you can take 7 steps for the 7 vertebrae that are in your neck. If you're feeling super fancy, you can find that bone there. Try and take 12 steps. So yeah, it's easier to kind of get more accurately into the reflexes on the feet for this part of the spine. And then across the bottom, you can take 5 steps if you want. So this is just right at the base of your hand. You'll kind of feel you'll go over some bones perhaps, that's fine. I swear my shoulder reflex is small. It's often a really tender one for people. Yeah, so try to focus on a couple of reflexes that are more like joints and things, and then some that are kind of more for your mind, because I mean, it's all so connected. Sorry, I'm just kicking the tripod. Now if you want, yeah, you can come back up. But if, yeah, you also can just literally like rub up and down. I know I'm showing you that in a really weird way, but and then we're gonna do, so find that solar plexus reflex, so like basically right in the middle of your hand. Like there is a more sort of specific placement, but when I'm doing it on myself, I'm just like, no, whatever, like it feels really good just to get into the middle of your hand, and you're going to end up getting it if you make these circles. So that is all the reflexes I'm going to show you, but I'm going to just show you another little exercise you can do with the solar plexus reflex that is coordinated with the breath, and it's a really nice one. Like I say, you can kind of do it anywhere, but it's nice. Like I find when I'm breathing, sometimes my mind wanders too much, and it's nice to have something like physically to focus on. I know you can physically focus on the breath, but I don't know, I really like it. I think it's really helpful, and this is how I finish all of my treatments, and it's really lovely. So what we're going to do is when you inhale, you're going to make some big circles here, And then at the top of the breath, we're going to hold the breath and the pressure just for a few seconds, and then we're going to release it all. So just to repeat that, I will do the exercise in a second. When you breathe in, making big circles in the center of your hand. At the top of the breath, hold the pressure and the breath and release it all. So we're going to take 5 breaths. So like 5, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Sorry. So feel free to, if you want to, you can lay down, feel free to close your eyes, just get in a position that you're going to be comfortable, and I will talk you through it, and like, feel free to close your eyes. So breathing in and making big circles on the hand. Holding the breath and the pressure. And release. Inhale, making big circles. Hold the breath and the pressure. And release. Inhale, making circles. Holding the breath and the pressure. And exhale. Breathing in, making big circles. Hold the breath and the pressure, and release. And one last time, breathing in. Hold the breath and the pressure, and release. And if your eyes are closed, take a second to open them. Just take a minute to massage into the rest of your hands. Feel free to spend some time getting into all your fingers. Have a little stretch. Oh. And that is everything I'm going to show you today. I hope that makes you feel nice and calm. It always helps me. I should do it more often. Hopefully I'm going to save this so it will just be there for you to do as and when. I wrote some things down to mention. Like everyone, I can't work at the moment. But I am gonna do some more kind of extended videos like this that will go up on my website at some point, that will be available to download. So I'm gonna do one for women's health, I'm gonna do one for digestion, I'm gonna do one for sleep and like unwinding, which will be really similar to this one, but with more things in there. Great, oh, I'm glad everyone enjoyed it, this is lovely, yay! Anything else to mention? I'm also going to do one-to-one like Zoom things and consultation. So consultation that I would do in a standard in a real life treatment, and then I will show you reflexes that would be specific to what you require. So yeah, I think that's everything. I'm going to get my phone oily, whatever. Oh, thank you everyone. Yay, this is really nice. I'm really glad everyone enjoyed it. I'm going to let you go and have a lovely evening, and fingers crossed I work out how to save this. Thanks very much, bye.